Okay, so one important thing to remember is the tree of knowledge is by default selfish. Remember, flesh is elf and them saying shh, okay? And the H's, right? H is the ancient symbol of the fence. So they're fencing people in, and it has to do with the various boundaries, the mark of the beast, and so on and so forth. Genesis 1 and 2 talks about the mark as well. Uh, there's various references of this word in the Bible. If you do kind of a word search and you look for the word mark in the Bible, you'll see all kinds of good stuff that is related to the mark of the beast. Okay, the boundaries of justice and righteousness, the spirit versus the flesh, and so on and so forth. All right, so here we have. We start off. We left off with the flesh and the bones. The flesh is the elf, selfish, see flesh, and the bone, right? Bone, B1. We also get from bones. We get so and B. So, S-O, the letter N, and the word B. Okay. Now, so using phonetic sounds is a play on words for to sow your seed. So they're taking the attractive women and they're sowing the seed. Now, when we look at it, what are the martial art traits? There are these African martial art traits. Look at Egypt. We see Narmer. He's a lot more masculine than the other Egyptians after him, including Ramses. He's like a tall, less masculine guy that worked out, and he takes on a certain form. It's like Larry Bird or Chris Mullin versus Michael Jordan, or somebody like this, somebody with a more masculine. And Kobe Bryant is more elf-like, and we see it with the nose. The nose is a play on words for E, sun. The E is a letter for temple in Sumer. So E refers to temple, especially Sumerian temple, and we see the depictions of Enki and so on and so forth. We see these kind of short, thicker guys. Okay, that's what they're going for. Okay, what is the big idea? EA is another word for Enki in the Sumerian culture and religion. Okay, so the big B-I-G, B the I, see things in terms of the ideal. Okay, I and deal scrambled as lead, and so on and so forth. I, day, L scrambled, lead, and deal scrambled as day, L, D-A/E-L. Okay, so see things in terms of, that's what they want you to do, not me. In terms of the big, kind of shorter guy, kind of short gnome-looking guy. Look at Marduk's depiction, Enki's depiction. Look at Set's depiction, and in some of his older pictures, he's depicted, as a shorter, thicker guy. And his various forms: the jackal, the boar, the hippo. Okay, it's the idea of low mass, right? Okay, so okay, the big idea, the B-I-G and idea, I-D-E-A. So the identification, the E-A, I-D scrambled is D-I, which is, to die, to live and die as E-A, as Enki, okay? E is the temple of the Sumerian guys. L's line, look at L's shape, they're shorter guys. L, Amen, and these guys have relatives in Egypt to some degree. They, El, Amen in a lot of his forms, okay? Atum, okay, Imhotep, okay, Enki, and Leo, and all these guys are shorter guys. Asherah and Astarte and Anat and so on and so forth, they're shorter guys, okay? And they're short and thick. Now, they bred to be tall. This is where in the circus you have those guys on stilts, because what they're doing is some goofy ass shit and some selfish ass shit, and they decided that it goes over more smoothly if people kind of joke around. You see tall, lanky people walking around. It's because they're shorter people that married tall, attractive women or whatever, and they became uncoordinated tall people. This is very key in what we're talking about. Tall, king, alpha, about, talking about. And the big idea, the B-I, and the the bisexual, them, not me, G, idea. So to the gay community, this is why I have to emphasize that I'm straight. Okay, I'm not gonna gay bash. Okay, I give everyone a chance. Everyone's doing the wrong thing, not just the gay community. So I give everyone a fair shake. All right, for what it's worth. Okay, so we go to the Garden of Eden, right? The Eden, the Edon, okay, the Eden, okay, the Edn. N is means Lord, Enlil, and Enki in Sumerian. So En and Ki, the Lord of the earth. Satan is the god of this world in the Bible. They're referring to Enki perhaps first and foremost. Lucifer is a little bit more tricky, but it has to do with magic and the craft, and that's Enki as well. Enki, listen very carefully, shares a planet with Set. It's called Mercury. Mercury is the deity of boundaries and merchants and trickery and thieves in the Greco-Roman system. And his counterpart is Hermes, Hermaphroditus. So Mercury, Set, and Enki team up with Aphrodite, and make Hermes and Aphrodite, which is Hermaphroditus, and it's a deity as well. And it's the whore that rides the beast, the whore that merges the beast, and this has to do with the gender-neutral Baphomet and the liberal agenda and the left-right paradigm. It is Enlightenment, progressive, heavy, but all of them are doing the wrong thing, from the most conservative of them to the most liberal of them. And all the people playing stupid who aren't trying to restore the divine order are scattering. As Jesus says in the Bible, I tell you now, he who does not gather with me is scattering. Don't believe their propaganda, their Lord of the Rings, elf, gnome, wizard propaganda, their Star Wars elf, gnome, wizard propaganda, and the elf-looking people and their family like Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker, the actors that played them. Don't believe this stuff. Okay, this stuff is saying, they say do or do not. There is no try. Then they say, when Anakin says to Obi-Wan Kenobi, he says, if you're not with me, you're against me. He says, only a Sith deals in absolute, but Yoda deals in absolutes. So they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. There's all kinds of wordplay that in their tree of knowledge would make it true in terms of a fairy psychological construct, psychology, propaganda, rubbish that they use called psychology. But the truth of the matter is, the morally precise truth is they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, first and foremost, because they don't know God, and they're crazy. The first thing is the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, which leads to obeying God and walking in the way of righteousness along the paths of justice. Since they don't do that, they don't know God. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay? No wordplay. I spell out the wordplay. I don't use wordplay. I don't use hidden wordplay. I just explain it. There's a difference. All right. So the first river coming from the Garden of Eden was Pishon. Okay, IP, the P is the penis, your pee-pee, okay? For whatever reason, this wordplay plays out this way. It has to do with where languages overlap, Latin-rooted languages, the Sumerian, the cuneiform, the hieroglyphics, the pictograph, the sigils, the occult cut-ups, the chaos magic. There's all kinds of stuff, the Masonic wordplay, word, P, lay, penis, pee-pee, so on and so forth. Okay, so Pishon, P-I, shun, P-I's hone, P-I shine, and P-I in she, and so on and so forth. There's all kinds of other stuff there. You work the angles, you do the numerology, the E, A, B, C, D. E is 5, the number of man, mind, body, soul, spirit. They're fixated on the temple. That's another place where you get flesh from. Okay, you get the masonry. The 13 is the M, the golden arches of McDonald's, and so on and so forth. Okay, and these things are related to their symbols and their sigils, and occultists saying symbols trigger parts of the mind. We see that with the stop signs and the stoplights, the way they're shaped in geometric shapes to trigger parts of the mind, and so on and so forth. Using red to catch your attention, and colors and symbols, and so on and so forth. We see this with the gangs, and so on and so forth. Anyway, so this was the Pishon River that goes through Havilah. Have I La. La is Yah, is Jah. It is the moon deity. Okay, so their PI that they're honing is the moon deity. And of course it's Enki, so it favors a short, kind of stocky guy. It's everything from Bill Gates to Van Damme, right? A shorter guy, Van Damme's like 5'7", 5'8", or something, if I remember correctly. A shorter guy compared to the 6'4" model, which is more Horus model, but it's which one, right? Not just because you're 6'4" doesn't mean I'm the only guy doing the right thing. We'll get to that in another video. I'm using too much time on it. So, Havilah, have I La. Okay, have I lay, Eve el ha. Okay, so Eve, Adam and Eve, evening, and so on and so forth. So they're saying, hey, that, they're laughing. It's like Set was amored with Isis in the Egyptian mystery. Set is the Enki expression in Egypt. Enki expresses himself as Set in Egypt, as Mercury and all kinds of people in the Greece and Rome. And really Enki he's meddling. He's Amen, the Lord of the thrones of the world, the hidden one. Okay, he's a hidden magician meddling, little else behind the scenes. Okay, all right. So going to the second river is the Gihon, and this is in Genesis 2. The G-I Hone, G.I. Joe, G the earth deity, Hone. Okay, and it goes through Cush. It says, see you, shh. They don't want people to say, they say, we see things your way, now be quiet. Okay, they want me to be quiet. They want everyone who's going to tell the truth, who's initiated, to be quiet. And I'm not in the seeker side, never was initiated, I promise you that. All right, so it's also suck, S-U-C, scrambled, and the H. So is you suck at being evil, and we want everyone to tell you, hey, you suck. You don't know about cars. You don't know about anal sex or whatever these people do. You don't know about the degrees because you're not in the secret society. You suck at the crafts. Remember, Enki is a deity of crafts. So they want them to tell people like me, hey, you suck, man. You don't know what you're talking about. But they don't know God. They don't know martial arts, because the first thing about martial arts is righteousness, honor, it's obedience. Obi is a play on words for obey, and Kuro Obi is black belt. So the third river is the Tigris, the IT, information technology. IT, the T is the feminine suffix. The Gris can be gear, the IT gear. It goes east of the Ashur. A's her, A's whore, A's here, and A's har. Har is another name for Haru. So they're basically saying they're going to take from Kush, the Ham kind of martial art line for the breasts and the booty. From doing martial arts, you works your pecs, and it makes the females over time express more perky breasts, and it works your hips and your abdomen and so on. It creates a sort of jogging female form. So they want her to be seen as Horus, whore us. That's what they're referring to. Okay, whore use whore instead of Narmer types of guys like me, okay? And I'm the last one. And I'm the pinnacle as well, because they're building up while everyone else's tree of knowledge building down. All right, Euphrates. And it has to do with individual expressions, not just any child, okay? The Euphrates. The E up rates. Something about E up rates, he up rates. The set fra. Okay, going backwards, set. The PHRA, you know, and the EU. So the EU is European Union. EU, the E is the temple. Followers of Enki. Okay, and they're saying the Set Fra. So basically, what they're saying is they're doing it for Set. When you think about the Garden of Eden, the Tree of Knowledge, the magic spell, occult knowledge, what they're saying, and obviously I don't live this, I'm exposing it to you, it's not the same thing, this is not my lifestyle, I don't go shh and tell everyone to shut up, I tell everyone the truth, okay? They're taking the attractive women, I said repent for the rape of On, from Ham, they're tricking them with the word, they're tricking them with the story, the confusing story. Set is a deity of confusion, okay? And what they're doing is building, it's like the liberal model, okay? When we look at multiculturalism, that's the best example in one kind of culture, right? It's the tech, it's the jogger, it's the healthy food, it's forging attractive kind of nerdy women that look for nerd and money in people, okay? And then they also sleep with some kind of, somebody from the extended family tree of these nerds, okay? Who are Van Damme kind of guys, physical fitness guys. You can kind of put together from what they see. What you see is going on is what they're doing, and look for the African features in women, which are the most sought after features, breasts and booty and so on. The black African martial art line features. Okay, not every black person has them. Some black people have saggy tits and so on. And anyway, so I went way over time. Let's end it with this. What is the dragon? The dragon is the Jew, gay, guy, nerd. Okay, it's also a phallic symbol, to snake, to cheat. The ancient serpent, the devil. The ancient dragon, the devil, in the Bible, in Revelations. Well, I'm out of time.